I've heard you talk about separating the idea of having money from the idea of working or having a job, and that sparked just wonderful thoughts and feelings of why conform to the idea of a 9 to 5 or this other things.
I've been saying take money out of the equation. If you take money out of the equation, for most of you, the majority of your lack consciousness will go with it. And you could do it pretty easily after a conversation like the one that we've had here today, because you are getting the sense of what vibrational currency is. And you're getting the sense of the power of that receiving mode and what it will yield to you. You know, you have to let your reasoning mind show you that there must be more to the attraction of financial remuneration than you've been thinking, because there are a lot of people working really, really hard and not becoming prosperous. And there are a lot of people who don't work that hard who are magnificently prosperous. And the world's response to that often is, well, let's just take the finite pot or pie and just split it up more equitably among the masses. And then we say it wouldn't be long before the pie would be right back where it is, because it's a vibrational attraction thing, you see. So our best way of stepping into this conversation is to use the reasoning analogy that you say you would like maybe an extra $500,000 right away, because there are some things that you would apply it to. And you also are reasonable enough to start again. Is reasonable based upon how it has been, or is reasonable based upon your understanding of the laws of the universe? So many people have an expectation that that $500,000 is not going to come to them today. So today isn't the day again, and then today isn't the day again, and then today isn't the day again. But we want you to acknowledge that there may be too much resistance on your trail, on your path, for you to let that money in right now. You could let a feeling of freedom in. You could bask in the understanding that you're free to choose, and you could bask in the feeling of freedom that nobody creates your own reality, and you could bask in the feeling of freedom that you and you alone establish your point of attraction, and that everything responds to that. So you could shift the way you feel, and you could have the feeling of prosperity. And if you do that often enough, you will have practiced a vibration that holds you steadily in that place where money has to flow to you in powerful fashion.
So money out of the equation, focus on the feeling.
Let's say it's stronger. The need for the manifestation out of the equation, and the feeling of being in the receptive mode, the desire. Doesn't matter if the manifestation is money or a mate or an empire or an improved political community. Doesn't matter what the manifestation you want is. You gotta stop focusing on it if your belief is that it isn't. Because what has manifested will keep you from manifesting it. Because you take yourself and what you think everywhere you go. So it's different places and different faces, but the same thing over and over and over again.
Thank you.
Ooh, isn't that delicious?
Yes.
So, want to play with a little bit?
Absolutely.
So we're just going to ask you, because we think you're ready to go there, talk to us about your feelings of prosperity and leave money out of the equation.
Prosperity equals freedom to go wherever I wish to go.
And do you do that?
Sometimes, much of the time.
All right, so if you're hesitant about that,
not as much as I would like.
then that example didn't help you much better than if you'd left money in the equation.
Right.
Because a lot of people don't feel free because they're doing stuff they don't want to do. So you have to find some piece of it somewhere that gives you a little feeling. Esther used to say to Jerry, not based upon what they were currently living at all, but based upon what she used to live when she was punching a time clock and working by the hour, she'd say to him, let's get a Coke and pretend like we're on vacation. She just loved that feeling of in the middle of the day playing hooky from whatever it was they were doing and just sort of rebelliously doing nothing that they were supposed to be doing. Well, that can be helpful to you to realize how often you can do that. Hey, I'm at work and I can play on my phone.
So you're choosing, yeah.
This world has given me so much freedom to think. Understanding law of attraction, I'm way ahead. I'm light years ahead. I've left shortage consciousness almost completely behind. You see, there are only three, we shouldn't say only, but there are basically three arenas of shortage consciousness that many of you are participating with. Shortage consciousness around money, not enoughness. Shortage consciousness around time, I got too much to do and not enough time to do it in. And shortage consciousness about space, I got too much stuff for my space, or I don't have enough stuff for my space. And so when you focus on any of those things that cause you to feel lackful, you impede, you put a filter on, you block the flow of the abundance that's in the vortex that you're calling to you. Your inner being is just flowing. Here's how it works, because there's no assertion. Oh, you're gonna like this so much. We've not had this conversation before. So you were source energy before you came into this physical body, and still are. A part of you became this physical personality, but the larger part of you is still this source energy. So there is a circle that is you, that includes the non-physical and the physical. So you are one, the non-physical and the physical. So the physical you decides that you would like some things, and you throw it into your vortex, and the non-physical you finds a vibrational alignment with it and becomes it immediately. So when your inner being is attracting the things that you desire, it feels like your inner being is giving them to you, but what your inner being is really doing is attracting them to the bigger part of you through you. Did you get that? Your inner being is not asserting the well-being that you're asking to you. Your inner being is drawing what you're asking for to the larger part of you, which is your inner being. And so what you want is being drawn to you by your inner being, who's drawing it through you. So the way that plays out is everything that you want, your inner being is focused upon it and flowing ideas and information and possible paths. And when you accept that, then you never again will feel shortage consciousness of anything, because your inner being and all this resourceful stuff that you want to call, we call it non-physical, sometimes you want to call it God. In other words, the blessings are raining down all around you. And once you begin to understand this, then you put yourself in that place, you release some of the filters, and you let yourself be the receiver of more of it more often. And then you just feel freer and freer and more empowered and more blessed and more worthy and more happy and more sure-footed and more eager, and nothing gets you down because you know it always is working out for you. And now you're just enjoying the journey the way you intended to, and now you're the deliberate creator that you wanted to be, and you're enjoying the contrast because it helps you clarify, and you love the feeling of molding yourself into vibrational alignment with it, and new ideas keep hatching, and you just keep feeling better and better. And the older you get, the younger you are, the better you feel, the more vital and vitality that you have, and you just defy all the odds of the way most people who have lived this long are living, because you're just high on life and eager about more. You are the physical embodiment of source energy. Whew.
I am.
Yeah, no shortage consciousness there.
Gone.
Yeah, really good. Something more?
No, thank you.
Yeah, really good. Yeah. So what do you do when you have beliefs that work against you? Esther likes that song. She only knows one line from it. I should have just gone to bed. Instead of talking all night long and running her off, I should have just stopped talking. And so that's a really good thing. Stop taking score of what is, unless it feels really good. You could have 5 active subjects in your life, like finances, things that are meaningful to you that you are doing, interests, relationships, things to do with your physical body. You could have several subjects active, and 4 of the 5 could be working not the way you want right now, and 1 could be working the way you want. And if you would give most of your attention to the one that's working, the other 4 would fall right into line, because you'd use that 1 to be the reason for your broadcast. And the reason for your broadcast, no matter what the subject, you see, this is important. You don't have to be broadcasting on a specific subject to attract good things on that specific subject. You just can't be broadcasting against something. Did you know that? You didn't know that, did you? That's why you think you've got to be really determined. You think you got to wrestle it to the ground. You think that you've got to really work hard on it. You just have to get happy about something. Now here's why. Step 1 is contrast has caused you to become decisive, vibrationally decisive. That's a good word. You have become vibrationally decisive. You don't even know all the things that you've decided. because it's been coming so incrementally, moment by moment, step by step, all through the days of this life and even before. And you've been broadcasting into your vibrational reality, your vortex of creation, incrementally on all levels of your being for longer than we even have time to talk about. And so there it is. You've asked, and source lined up with it, and law of attraction is attracting to it, and the cooperative components have been gathered, and so it's a done deal vibrationally. So then you say, and wisely so, Abraham, so just tell me this one thing. How do I get this amassed fortune out of the vortex and into the bank? How do I make it a reality for me where I can spend it? How do I turn it into the kind of currency that other people recognize? We know you dead guys are all hot on this vibrational currency, but I'd like some cash. How do I turn it into something that I can spend? Well, you do that by not contradicting it, by focusing upon the fact that you can't see it yet and you can't spend it yet. That's what faith is. It's a feeling about something even though you can't see it yet. It hasn't translated, it hasn't become vibrationally viable enough that you can translate it through your physical senses. What you see is a translation of vibration. You don't know it because you just do it so easily. What are you doing today? I'm going to go translate some things into vision. I'm looking at that now. I'm looking at that now. You don't do that. You were born vibrationally translating into sight and sound and smell and taste and touch. And you were also born translating through your emotional center, your guidance system, to let you know whether you are a match to your own inner being, who is a match to this thing that you want, or not. You can tell by the way you feel. So since what you want is not vibrationally viable enough, now what do we mean by that? It hasn't been focused upon purely enough. It hasn't been focused upon without contradiction long enough that it is a strong enough signal. You have not let it become a strong enough signal that now you can translate it into manifestations. You see, how do you think manifestations get here? You don't know, because there were so many here when you got here. And for the most part, ever since you got here, you've just been moving manifestations around from place to place as a human race and fighting over them. But if you will use your reasoning mind, hasn't your economy gotten way bigger than it was? You don't remember, but you could if you try. For a long time, it was just tiger teeth and bones and occasional squirrel hide. Way bigger now. Way, 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 way bigger now. And nobody's been trucking anything in from other planets. There's no pipelines from other planets. The new stuff get here yet? No. Got derailed out there somewhere. There's nothing that's being trucked in. You are creating it. It's becoming vibrationally viable because you are preparing your receptors to receive it. When you ask, it is given, it is revealed. But the question is, are you realizing what has been revealed? Or do you have your, I can't do it, I can't see it, I can't smell it, I can't taste it, I can't touch it, I can't hear it, blockade up, you see? And so, that was so satisfying to say all of that to you, because you heard it, didn't you? You are the one that translates the vibration into the physical equivalent. So by the time you have put all of this in the vortex and law of attraction has answered it, and your inner being has stood there with it and has become the vibrational equivalent of it and is broadcasting to you and to the universe a signal about it, and law of attraction is responding to that signal, there is a powerful attraction to the things that you have become. Powerful attraction. It is huge, and it is done. And then if you are anywhere in the vicinity of it vibrationally, which means if you're just happy today for some reason, if you haven't remembered not to be happy, in other words, your cork will float. You can hold it under the water, but when you let go, it's going to float back up there. So when you stop doing that thing you do that doesn't let your vibration rise, your vibration will rise. And every now and again, you'll just forget to do something stupid like not let it rise, and it will rise. And for a moment, you'll get a glimpse of something you want, just for a moment. Oh, I want her. I want this. I want this. Don't you know that feeling? When you first translate that vortexual creation into something that is meaningful to you, when that idea hatches in your mind, that's a manifestation. Now, it's not the kind of manifestation you want. You don't just want an idea. Yeah, you do. You want the idea because you got to have the idea, and you got to practice the idea, and you got to become familiar with the idea, and you got to hold the idea. You've got to nurture the idea just like the seed of corn has to be nurtured before it comes into something that you can eat and enjoy. So now you have it. That's the answer to every question. Go away now and live happily ever after.